Welcome everyone to Saturday Evening Chats. This is episode 110, and right at the bell, we have New York Outcast who just popped in. Welcome.
Hi, Rob.
Hello. How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me.
You are so welcome. We have the co-host extraordinaire, Mr. DM Foss.
Good evening.
And the first one in tonight, besides myself, was Mr. Chris from the 740.
Well, thank you for the invite. Glad to be here.
You are welcome. Let's roll intro.
In a world of uncertainty and turmoil, one man stands alone, along with his faithful sidekick. A man who entertains and educates the masses weekly, 70% of the time. Born out of the dusty plains of Washington State, now from the coastal forests of Oregon. The man, the myth, the man, G23.
So, before I kind of go into the topic, I got to flip Rob a bunch of crap. Because, one, Squibby released a Glock video today. Two, I made a comment on there calling Rob out, and I think he went running to the corner crying.
Oh man, shots fired. We're just firing right out of the gate tonight. Rob and G going at it here.
Well, I can't vouch for what Squib does. I'm not happy about it either. But so that there's one. Two, I didn't see any comments or anything. So I did actually catch his video earlier, but I got interrupted and didn't get to even leave a thumbs up or down or anything. So didn't see your comment.
Well, now you're going to have to go back and read it and realize that shots were fired multiple times. So.
Sounds like you're just trying to get more views on a Glock video to me.
But it's not even my video. So, I mean, and you don't have to view it to actually look at the comments. You can pause the video as soon as you open it.
That's still a click, right? I mean, I suppose I could do that. It's Squib as well. But I'm just stating, that's an extra click for a Glock video. What's your comment? We can address it right now.
I'll pull the comment up so I can make sure you get the entire
well, whatever it is, I'm sure it's pure madness anyway. So, I mean, I'll deny it or say you're crazy. We can just get it out of the way now.
I said, I have a Glock, and I like it. I also have SIGs and other firearms. The only thing I care about is that someone has a tool to protect themselves and their families if they want to. All firearms that matter, except for New York Outcast and his M&P.
That's that's a hit below the belt, man. What kind of crap is that? I guess it should be expected from you.
Oh. So
I just hope your lady didn't share any of that coffee with you, buddy.
Oh, she did. It was actually I was sharing with her. So first in tonight was Razor JB at 10:30 this morning. G-Webs, Thoughts of an Old Soldier. Guys, Thoughts of an Old Soldier has a buddy who is needing some thoughts and prayers. So if you do that, please keep Thoughts of an Old Soldier and his buddy there. So we've got Tactical Fud out there, Chris pulling double duty, Burnaby Sanchez. Chat's been kind of popping tonight. Georgia Trapping and Fishing. Hopefully he gets back to doing his Sunday live streams. I have nothing to watch Sunday afternoon. Miss Vanessa Kitty, the better half of Rob, the Misfits darling. DM Foss is out there. Michael Hurtneck. I'm pretty sure I said Vanessa Kitty, but definitely Vanessa Kitty. Joe Morgan's out there. Probably going to miss a bunch of people. See, he's like, nice friends you have there, Rob.
What you got going on there, Artac? Oh, there he muted.
Yeah, you know what they say about those Glock friends. It's good to keep them close.
Yep. So I know a bunch of people have been talking about like the SCOTUS case, you know, and how New York has been saved.
Not so much New York, but California as well.
Well, no, actually, if you read what they say, the other states would have to like challenge. Yes, they've said that May issue is unconstitutional, but it only really directly affects New York and Maryland, California, Hawaii. Those cases would have to then, you know, fight it again.
Yeah, I think there's 6 states that are May issue. And
5.
those are the ones. 5?
5.
Yeah.
The one I really want to talk about is the fact that now all constitutional anything that, you know, directly affects your constitutional rights, if they're trying to restrict it in any way, the courts now have to rule on strict scrutiny. So, you know, New York will be saved again with a 10-round mag ban. Because that would then be unconstitutional. All mag bans would be unconstitutional. Assault weapons bans, so those featureless rifles.
New York Safe Act. Don't get me excited, man. Don't get me excited.
So the one I want to talk about affects everybody. Everybody. Would it not then make NICS unconstitutional? Because if you actually apply strict scrutiny standards to NICS, there would not stand the strict scrutiny challenge. Anyone have thoughts?
I don't think that'll work that way. Simply because it's part of the Brady bill, and it would have to go back and then the Democrats could pull up like, well, look, these are the number of felons that it has stopped, and it does stop people who have felonies that are stupid enough to walk in there and try to buy a gun.
So where in the Constitution does it say that felons are not allowed to own firearms?
It does not.
So
And I'm all for someone who has paid their done their dues, paid their time, as long as it's a non-violent felony, to have their gun rights back. I don't have a problem with that. That needs to be addressed as well.
see, and this is where I always have the problem with the way we discuss this in the Second Amendment community. It's like it's almost verbatim. I don't have a problem with felons having firearms, except, wait a minute, why is there an exception?
Because they've committed some type of violent crime. That's the exception.
So if they're allowed to be on the street, why are they not allowed to have their rights?
Well, see, I see that goes into a deeper conversation, because here's my feeling: if you've committed murder, you should be executed. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Once you go through your trial and you get the 3 appeals within a reasonable amount of time, you're done. After that 3rd appeal, you get executed the next day. That's the way that should work. And then we wouldn't have it. Wouldn't. So, pedophiles should be castrated. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that it opens up Pandora's box a lot. So that's why you'll see a lot of people in the gun community will say, accept violence, the violent felons. Because do you want somebody who has assaulted somebody with a ball bat to have a gun?
Murder isn't always a bad thing, though. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's a good thing or whatever, but, in some cases, people do it in self-defense and it just gets sliced wrong or this or that, or in defense of somebody else.
True.
I mean, where it may not be, it's not like this person got upset and just decided to kill somebody. You know what I mean? Or also, negligence cases where not saying the outcome doesn't make the same resolve in a sense, but where it truly wasn't intentional and it was a strange combination of events or something. So but I'm kind of with you, but I think there's exceptions or exclusions for things, and that's where that but comes in and people don't like it.
Correct. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because now you're going by a case-by-case basis, and now you just opened up Pandora's box again. How long is that going to take? You know what I mean? How many people were, our justice system is not perfect by any stance.
I think our justice system is probably better than most in this world.
I don't disagree with that. There's always room for improvement, though.
Always. And, I think we've all had discussions like this before on how we can revamp the judicial system. Would it ever make it that far? Could, that's a whole different ball game and everything. So before we get too far into this, next Saturday there probably is not going to be an evening chat, but we are going to do a 7:05 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Every Second Matters morning chat. So if you're up and you want to be on the panel and you host live streams, email me or tell me you want to be on that panel, and I will do my damnedest to get you on here.
Okay, Millie, that's about 11 o'clock on the right side of time, right?
Eastern metric time, that would be 10:05 a.m. 3 hour.
Oh man. Yeah, send it to me anyway. I'll get up early just for you. To answer your question, Chris, I tried. I was muted. I muted myself, I guess. I was building a 10.5-inch truck gun. They are.
Oh, nice.
So I know I'll send the invite to G-Webs because, well, come on, he runs the Every Second Matters channel. So
Didn't he start it though?
he was one of the original people. It was him, like the Yankee Marshal, and Smeggy 42, Mr. Knives, and some other people, all part of the old gun channels.
Oh, okay.
That all were involved in getting that awareness campaign going, and so I think it's a honorable campaign that we need to keep pushing, along with the 22 a day campaign. That's another campaign I do believe is a great campaign to get behind. So, do we have more hate on Rob coming up?
Oh yeah. Did you see that that picture he posted on his community tab where he had a little boo-boo there and he was complaining about it?
I did not.
Oh, it was hilarious.
I heard him crying about it on his live stream that he was doing for a fill-in show for Rick, but when he was trying to show his finger, he had a comment across the screen, so it hit his finger, so no one ever got to see what was really happening.
But they didn't miss nothing. Emmett was looking at that picture and said, "Papaw, he's a crybaby, isn't he?" I was like, "Well, he's from New York. What do you expect?"
Grinder violence is real. That's all I'm saying. Right?
Did you do that with a grinder?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Damn, that hurt.
Yeah, it was so quick. I didn't even really notice it. And thankfully, it didn't hurt too bad at the time, but it's hurt ever since because it's more of a burn than a cut. So it just throbs. Thankfully, now it's gotten a bit better, but the first couple days, it was just a constant throb. So, I mean, not the end of the world or nothing, you know what I mean? But definitely not comfortable.
Dude,
And of course,
I
right
worry-
on your finger, you can't do anything without bashing on stuff. You know what I mean? It's just the way it goes. Whenever you stub your toe, then the next thing you know, you're kicking everything. So that's just it's life.
I mean, I was half tempted to start emailing your lady there because I thought you was going to die of that damn thing for a minute. I was like, oh, there's an opening. Rob's dead.
No, I lived through it, man. Lived through it.
Oh, shit. Maybe next time.
Yep. You ain't getting my M&Ps that easy.
Well, they'll come to a good home, though. I can assure you that.
Uh-huh. I know
I
where this is going.
I will not even put them in the gun cabinet next to the Glocks. They'll have their own cabinet.
I'd appreciate that. Just out of
Okay.
respect.
That's a promise. That's a promise.
so Burnaby says, did you register your grinder just because you lived?
Did I what my grinder?
Register.
No.
Did you register your grinder?
Oh no.
It's definitely a salt grinder now, isn't it?
Right?
I would think so. By New York standards, it should be, right?
So we have Jason Stewart out in the crowd who has a link. We have LW Rhodes who's jumped in there, and DJ Play Nice. So welcome everyone.
If you want to fuel this Glock fire a little bit more, LW Rhodes out there, and he just put out a great series of videos shooting these 230 grain. We'll have to ask him what the brand of bullet was.
Double tap.
Yep. Well, the SIG failed, the Smith & Wesson failed, and the Springfield failed. But guess what ate all those rounds? The Glock.
It helps when you only have half a chamber, though.
Sounds staged to me.
It runs.
Yeah, again, you only have half a chamber.
I had a feeling, too, because I knew exactly what he was doing because I watched every video. And I'm like, he's going to do the Glock last, and the Glock's going to eat all those rounds, and it did.
Right.
Mr. Jet 001 is out there. I've looked him a couple times, and the Bovine with the Mostas, Mr. Two Live Moo, and Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog is out there. So,
Oh, damn. I got my pistol done.
See, even the mags are better. Look at that comment.
I'm not even gonna say anything. Just
I took my sister out and she shot my Glock 20 today.
how'd you like it?
It was okay. It was the large frame is a little large for her hands.
There's a big grip on there.
I like it.
I don't have the 20. I have the 40.
It's comfortable for me, I think.
Oh, yeah. It feels great in my hand. My son doesn't. My son's like, Dad, that grip's a little big. I said, yeah, it is kind of. Not for my hands, but.
Yeah, I don't care for the. I have a 20 and a 21. I can shoot them. Not the best grip, but I can still hang on to them. The 21, I can hold on a lot better than I can the 10 or the 20.
Well, the 21 is a 45, so the round is a little thinner and a little less overall length. So
It's thicker. 45 is bigger than 40.
Thicker
And
and
10.
shorter.
Bigger than 10. It's just short. Slow, short, and fat like us, G23. Slow, short, and fat.
I'm not short. I'm 6 foot.
Oh, okay. Well,
What? I don't know about that.
It's okay, like 5'11" and 3/4.
okay, that's how.
I'm remembering you being shorter than me.
Depends what sandals he has on.
High heels.
Yeah, Foss, you probably had shoes on.
Yeah, I did. and I had my Nike sandals on.
Aren't you afraid of getting some some type of toe disease up there with Sasquatch and shit?
No, I grew up in Washington, and I ran around where Foss was. If you watched his vacation video, I ran around all that area barefoot.
So Leavenworth is where you grew up at?
I grew up a little down the road from there in Wenatchee and in Kashmir. So, but I was up in Leavenworth all the time.
It would be under 20.
So,
That video you put out, Foss, was awesome. I bet I watched that video. I bet I watched that 3 times in a row. That was just cool editing, the music, everything. You did a good job on that video.
It's a beautiful place.
Foss needs to go over there during the end of September for Oktoberfest.
Well, I'd love to go out there for winter because it's seeing the pictures of it in the snow is even more beautiful. But I don't want to have to drive up the mountain pass in the snow.
You don't want to go over either one of those. I mean, so I guess that the way you could do it, if you wanted to take the extra time, would be to go from Leavenworth, drop down through Wenatchee, go out through Quincy, out into George, then hit 90, go down to Vantage, drop down Vantage next to the Columbia River, and then run past Goldendale down by the Mary Hill Museum, follow that road all the way over to Vancouver, jump on I-5 and run I-5 back up.
Yeah, but that changes the 3.5 hour drive to 8 hour drive.
8.5.
Yeah.
So that's a no, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been all, in those areas he's talking about, just not all in one shot.
Or you try your luck on Stevens Pass and hope and pray it doesn't get closed when you're halfway up the mountain. Then you have to backtrack back down and then try going over Blewett Pass. Either one of those passes are nasty in the wintertime.
Yeah, there was the hotel we stayed at. Every day have a buffet breakfast, and there'll be someone who plays the Alpenhorn. They'll play outside on the balcony and then come in and play a little bit. But I didn't get very good footage of them, so I didn't use it.
Yeah, did you go to the hot sauce store?
I saw it, but I didn't go in because I'm not into hot sauces.
They have there's more than just hot sauce in that store. They have some great like wasabi, and some great mustard in there. Oh. I'm telling you, if you guys are ever in Leavenworth, you go in that store. They have free samples. They give you the pretzel sticks, and you go out there and you just sample all that stuff. It's so delicious. Treads out there. So G-Webs, I threw the link out in the crowd. You are more than welcome to jump on in. So I know
berries.
Huh? What was that, Rob?
Lady's over here trying to steal my berries, man.
She gets
Go.
some more than you do.
Oh no!
I'm going to jump to the back and we'll let G-Webs come in.
I can drop out.
Are you there, G-Webs? Maybe. His device isn't wanting to connect. I'm going to bring Jason Stewart in.
Hey, G. Oh, he disappeared.
I'm here.
I was going to tell you, I put a, what do you call it? A recovery tactical on my Glock 19. It's an interesting way of shooting a Glock 19.
Yeah. There's definitely some accessories out there for Glocks that are kind of weird.
It's coming off though. It's coming off my Crimson Trace grips going back on it.
So we've got Gunpowder Beauty, who's out in the crowd. Echo, who's the Reloading Chamber, who's out there. Daniel, God is my judge. Chicago Mike, the shooter, is out there. So welcome, everyone. I was hoping to get G-Webs on here, but his device didn't want to connect.
It's all that sun in Arizona.
Dude, it is hot over here on the West Coast.
Is it? How hot is it over there?
It's like almost 100 here, close to the ocean.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah, it's like 96 degrees. And it's supposed to be triple digits tomorrow. So we have
Global warming?
yeah, it's definitely global warming. No, every year it does get to the triple digits for probably a week or so.
So it's a seasonal thing, right?
Yeah, but most of the time it stays 80s, 60s, 50s to 80s is right. Where you're gonna
Well, sounds like here because we'll get in the triple digits usually around August or September for some reason. We'll hit the 100, but the last 3 days we've had heat index with 105. Been like 92, but that's kind of normal for Tennessee.
There
Down
you
here
go.
in New Orleans, we just went from 100 to 80 in about an hour. Let's see. Our high today was 102, and in about an hour, it started pouring down rain, so we dropped about 20 degrees.
So CB, who's another fellow Oregonian, he's a lucky one. He actually gets to live on the Oregon coast, and he's saying that it's 81 degrees. So
Got that ocean breeze too.
and LW Rhodes has put a request out for a video from the Devil's Kitchen. So I'll add that to the request list. Here's another guy who's lucky enough to live on the ocean in Oregonian. So
They lucky, but I don't think living on the ocean is truly lucky. I think that's all perspective.
I don't know. In the area that Misha's at, I'm not going to give the exact town he's in.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's just simple fact of living on the ocean. I mean, you're gambling with Mother Nature. That's just what it is. And, less ground, retreatable ground. Obviously, there's water, but I don't know. It just brings a bunch of factors in.
The
I don't
tsunamis.
think they're worth it.
What, you scared of water, Rob? It's only on one side.
No, I just think it's a horrible investment. And then, unless you're looking for ways to lose money, having a property right next to the ocean or any large river is kind of sketchy. I mean, it's always overpriced. You have all the natural disasters. You got higher insurance rates. I mean, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, not when you can hop in your vehicle, drive 40 minutes and go to the beach. I don't know. You know what I mean? To me, again, but it's all priorities and perspective. But for me, I don't see a beach property as a wise or good idea. Nice vacation spot, but that's about it.
That's the price of beauty.
There's lots of forms of beauty.
And
a lot of them can go with you anywhere.
I know that's damn for sure.
So Rob, Misha has you on checkmate right there. He says you gamble with Mother Nature no matter where you live. And
That's
come on,
true.
being
Pick your
upstate New
battles,
York,
man. Pick your battles.
upstate New York, you guys deal with having a chance of being blizzarded in and never making it out and losing all your electricity and dying, freezing your ass to death. I'd rather have a quick tsunami wipe my ass out.
Wow. That's only if you're unprepared. I mean,
You're going to be floating. You know that.
Same,
Oh, yeah.
same, I guess the same. So yeah, it's just a different perspective. That's all.
And Misha says, that coming from a person who lives in New York.
Well, here's the scary thing about New York. It's a lot dangerous. Just think, if you get some pandemic happening, the governor will stick you in a nursing home with other sick people so y'all can die together. Oh, wait a minute. That did happen.
After Katrina, they moved me up to Indiana, north of Kokomo, and they got tornadoes all over the place up there. And that's a whole lot scarier than hurricanes. You can move out of the way of a hurricane. But tornadoes, it's like, oh, there we are.
Yeah, but every once in a while you get good luck with a tornado. Like, a nice item ends up blowing into your yard.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, like a trailer.
Well, if it's one of those Airstreams. No, about 6 years here ago in Tennessee, it was 7. We had 3 F5 tornadoes come through and 1 F4. So it started in North Georgia and it come all the way up through East Tennessee, and it was pretty bad. And it was like a once in a lifetime series of tornadoes.
I've been near 2 tornadoes, not close enough to see them, but kind of to get the winds on the edge, and I'm good. That's, I don't need to see anymore.
Yeah, they're definitely not. Well, the whole thing was all those happened within a 12-hour period. So you was constantly in fear of what was going to happen. Victoria was not even 8, and sister, and they spent. My wife and the 2 girls spent the whole day pretty much in the bathroom with a mattress over them.
Yeah, just looking up. Like one of them was actually in Minneapolis, and looking up, and you just see the whole sky turning, all the clouds turning, and you just, it's freaky.
I kind of snuffed through one once, a little camper. So thankfully it wasn't nothing major. Shook the camper. I just thought it was people screwing with me. Got up, came out, and seen the part in the trees and heard everybody screaming at that point. So I think I went back to bed.
It gets me. That's how I felt that night. I was like, we're going to have another one. I was like, at this point, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. If it gets me, it gets me. I'm going to bed.
I'm much more comfortable with our earthquakes. Yeah, normally it'll just be, you're wondering, is there an earthquake? And then you look for something that's hanging, and then you see it swinging. Yep, it's an earthquake.
We got earthquakes here in East Tennessee too, but they're nowhere near like California stuff. We get, it might be like 2 or 3 on the Richter scale when they happen. We usually have like 2 or 3 a year, and then I don't even know they happen until the news. Oh, we had a earthquake today. Blah blah blah. Because we're on the New Madrid fault line.
Ours are deeper than like California's, so California will have a lot more side to side movement and cause more damage.
See, Chris will tell you. He'll back me up. Around here, we're good people, so nature doesn't try to eliminate us in any way.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about in Ohio?
You know, all the years I've been here, I have still never seen a tornado. Now, we've had them all around us, and we've had a lot of them, but I have never seen one myself.
The first 2 tornadoes I've been in one was in northern Kentucky, right across from Cincinnati, and then the other one was in Cincinnati, up in on the north side of north side, matter of fact.
Well, Cincinnati is really a casualty. We would give it away to Kentucky if they would let us do it. Believe me.
We didn't want Cincinnati to begin with.
Yeah, we don't really count Cincinnati around here. Just like Michigan can have Toledo and Kentucky can have Cincinnati. Everybody
It happened. As a Kentuckian, I can tell you that no, we from the Kentucky delegation, we declined the offer.
We'll give it to you cheap.
Give it to Indiana. Yeah, I know you'll give it to us
I'm
cheap.
gonna jump out of here and let somebody else get in. Y'all have
Good seeing you, Bulldog, or talking to you.
Same here. I just wanted to hop in and chat real quick. I saw the link in there and just figured I'd hop in real quick.
Yeah, well, you have a good day, Bulldog.
Y'all do the same.
Thanks,
You
Bulldog.
Y'all be blessed and look, happy Second Amendment victory to all of us.
Yes, we need to keep enjoying that.
Especially the New York Outcast.
Thank you.
It doesn't apply to Rob. He's a criminal and don't care.
Oh, he's going to be okay. He's got his victory, and they're going to be doing all kinds of new crazy stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
All right, y'all. Later.
Take care.
Is Gunpowder and Broody, do you live in Kentucky?
She has lived in Kentucky.
Oh.
So, welcome, G-Webs.
Yeah, I've been having some trouble. I don't know if am I in here?
Yep.
Yeah, you're
You
doing
are
good now.
live.
I don't know if it's my connection or my phone, but yeah, thanks for the link.
Well, you sound good. Camera picture looks good.
Good to see you, G-Webs.
What's the deal? You can only have 6 people in here?
Yes. Who else did we lose?
Artac.
Oh, yeah. Where did Artac go?
Did you kick him backstage?
Mm-mm. Like, he completely ran away.
Might deal with something with the kids or something. There he is. He's
No,
coming back.
nope. He's having internet issues
Ah,
because he had the spinning wheel of death, and then all of a sudden it kicked him again.
He's on the website, man. He just added Cincinnati to his shopping cart.
I hear Chicago's going for a pretty low price.
Oh hell, Cincinnati's cheap as it get. I'll pay you to take it.
what are we working on, G-Webs?
Kind of took some time off to play around with the ammo collection. Figure I'd sort it a little bit.
Your
Took
camera.
all the side of one of them drawers. I'll lay down on a piece of wood.
You cannot show firearm.
That's all antique ammunition, G-Web?
No, it's all over the place. Like
Just rare.
random. what is this? Aluminum 25 ACP in a little baggie for some reason. These are a couple of snap caps I got from 38 Special. It's just sort of accumulated from seeing deals at gun shops and places, and I just kind of threw it in drawers. But at one time, it used to be like all the small handgun caps were in one drawer, and it had some rhyme or reason. And then I would be, well, I got to put this somewhere, so I would open a drawer and just dump it in, and this is the consequence of that, trying to figure out. Anyway, I dump them all out, and I start putting the little stuff over there, and gives you something to do, play with your collection, right?
Is that a 50 cal round you got right there in the?
This is
off the middle of the top. Yeah, there you go.
This is a 500 Smith and Wesson Magnum for reference. I don't really have too many things.
So are you gonna be awake next Saturday morning, G-Webs?
Yeah, I'll join you.
Yeah. And then I figure, I don't know if you're gonna still do one next Saturday evening. But
yeah, likely still have one on the channel.
Yeah, we can put out more E2M content. And we're not competing against channels.
Corker.
Of course, it would be an epic to have an E2M chat battle. How epic would that be?
I don't know if it's like last time where we got, cheated out of it.
Yeah, I know. We go to do a chat battle, and next thing you know, like 90% of my panel bailed on me. We're like gone. I'm like, well, crap.
Yeah, just you and I. Rob bails on us.
Yeah, I think that chat battle stuff is lame, but that's just my opinion.
That's okay. G and I can hold the reins.
Yeah, we ended up getting
still almost beat their asses though.
Rougarou's channel that jumped in and for a little bit. Yes, Cat, you're. Cat's getting angry that the wife's not sharing her sandwich.
They're gonna be like a point to the show. I mean, obviously it's a 2A or whatever, Second Amendment, but I mean, is this gonna be one of them things where it's just running and people are bullshitting and doing whatever in the background? Because honestly, I don't think those aren't interesting to me. So I'm sure some people use them as a hangout or whatever, but honestly, I'd rather listen to an audiobook or something.
Like normally when we do the Every Second Matters, it's talking about like the Second Amendment and advancing the cause and what's happened, what we can do to keep promoting and pushing through. Kind of like what I was talking a little earlier when we were talking about what was going on in the new SCOTUS ruling.
I have a question for Rob.
Yep.
And it goes, how is that body armor ban going to affect you in New York?
Won't technically affect me at all. I've already got body armor, so supposedly you can't purchase. Initially, it was soft armor, so level 3, 3A, you weren't allowed to purchase anymore. And then it's from what I heard, they went back and revised it. Happy to do more, because apparently they're doing this from that Buffalo shooter who was wearing an empty plate carrier, but that's besides the fact. But supposedly steel plates, or at least that's what I hear anyway. I don't know. So now they came back and threw steel plates in it as well. So either way, like I said, I not grandfathered, but you can't buy anything in this state. But supposedly you can still drive right across state lines and buy something. So I don't know if it's going to affect, like, now if you go to a supplier and try to have it delivered to New York, they're going to tell you no. I would assume maybe that's how it's going to go, and it's going to be one of them things where you're just going to have to take a road trip. But from what my understanding, it's still not illegal to possess. It's just illegal to buy. So I really don't know what it's really supposed to do personally. But it's makes it more difficult, I guess. But if you're willing to spend a few $100 on body armor, I'm sure you're willing to spend $100 in gas if need be. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I just didn't. I heard that they were going to go back and try to add that, but they just put soft armor in it. Those idiots up there, I guess they think a plate carrier itself is soft armor.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they did it intentionally. Honestly, I think either they screwed up, didn't know, or did it intentionally, just so they can go back and improve more to kind of include everything. So maybe they were didn't think it would go over well or whatever, didn't know, but now that it ran and it went through, they figure, well, we might as well go for a little more. So that's the way I'd think they've seen it, but I don't. Honestly, I don't. It seems like a convenient mistake. And then did they unban the soft armor? No, that's still banned too, supposedly. So obviously they didn't correct their mistake. They just added more to it.
Right.
Which, honestly, if you follow that logic, they shouldn't be banning any body armor. They should be banning, nylon plate carriers or something. You know what I mean? So that's what the guy had on. I mean, if that's what you want to go by, but which is all crazy anyway. But you're following their logic.
If you ban the plate carriers, then you can have all the body armor you want because you have no way to carry it unless you duct tape it on you.
I mean, you could ban crazy people, and that may solve all of it. I don't know.
It would definitely help, but I don't think it'll pass. Everybody in Congress would have to go somewhere else. I can tell you this: I made some inquiries about that Senate bill and asked my two senators here from Tennessee what the hell the deal was and why. Neither of them went with it or voted for it, which is good. But I never did get I got one out of Marsha Blackburn. She was like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna vote for this or restrict any 2A rights," which is good. But that Hargitay guy that we got, he just sent me a generic letter back, and the tragedy, blah blah blah, like he was going to vote for it. So he's kind of wishy-washy in my book, and I ain't gonna. Next time he's up, he's gone. In my opinion, I'll campaign against him. He didn't give me the answer I wanted. What the hell's going on here?
I would talk more, but I'm currently trying to devour these ribs and salad. But
I thought that's what you were making there when I saw that earlier.
yeah, we're trying to figure out what to do. It would have been cheaper actually with steak. They had porterhouses over there on sale we could have done, but the lady would rather have ribs. So
I'm about ready to have
ribs.
son of a bitch.
So, welcome, Smedgy 42, two-way we stand, Guns and Water. I know there was somebody else that Mr. Tread is out there, Rich White. So, yeah. So, Rob, what kind of salad are you going with?
Red skin potato.
So, how is that a salad? No.
It's got veggies and stuff in there.
I'm just giving you a bad time. With all that mayo.
No, that's not mayo.
Miracle Splooge?
No. Magical sauce. That's all it is.
Giving you hell. Well, we lost Chris and Foss. Wow.
They'll be back.
Who left?
Chris or Foss and Chris.
Oof. They just dip on us like that?
No, they just. Yep.
Wasn't hungry. Cool down.
Yeah, Rob's on. And G Libs and
What's going on, Tori?
oh yeah, you can talk for a little bit.
Nothing much.
What's up, badass?
Nothing much. Cooking dinner, cleaning, laundry.
Good. You're doing chores like you're supposed to be?
Yeah.
Sounds like he's working her like a slave over there. My goodness.
Nah. Usually I'm not doing stuff. Usually I'm just chilling on the couch.
Well, if he gets out of line, you got my permission to snap a finger or two.
Yeah, if I wouldn't get beat for that, I would. I heard a cat.
Oh, that's the wife's cat.
Both of ours are. Oh, well, Brady's in there with Dad, and then Garfield's outside somewhere, as always.
Yep. Ours are indoor only. We don't let them outside.
Brady's getting to the point where he doesn't want to go outside.
Well, he's an older cat.
He's also old.
Yep. So Smedgy says, did you guys see CA issued a statement that they are now shall issue? That's a good thing. I mean, did they really have a choice?
Well, they didn't waste any time either. Like they're already asking for permit application.
Mm-hmm. So Guns and Water says, why the gloves? G-Webs, because it's old ammunition that could be, some of it is probably corroded and stuff.
Safety precaution.
Yep. Misha says, will they be shall issue? Only time will tell.
Plus, you never know where ammo's going to end up, so it's not a bad idea to wear gloves.
So we got PA Reloader who just jumped in, and Andy 79Z28. So another New Yorker who's probably celebrating.
Well, if you have your permit, doesn't really do a whole lot for you here in the state unless you live in New York, like the city. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I assume they might make the permit process harder, which I don't know how the heck you could do that, but more expensive, more drawn out for the people in that area. But as far as most of the state, I don't think there's really much effect. Maybe we'll be able to travel into New York City with a permit now for the state. I've yet to hear anything about that. That would be a plus for us. But other than that, there's not trying to downplay it or nothing. It's a good thing, but but if you already have a permit in New York State, you're not really gaining a lot.
So now, are they going to? I wonder if they'll still keep the purchase permit requirement there before you can actually get your concealed carry. They'll be like, yeah, we'll issue it once you have this other one. Do you see that as a possibility?
I don't know. I would honestly think that the state should qualify you for the state. So if there's refusing the I don't see why there's a difference between New York City, especially with this sensitivity thing that they discussed, or sensitive areas, large groups of people. If that's not really going to be a mass thing, then I don't understand why New York City is its own entity as far as permits at this point. I don't think I should need one for specifically New York City if I have one for the state, if that makes sense to you. So I don't know if they're going to somehow try to combine. Excuse me, you need one to get the other or something. I have no idea. I couldn't foresee what they're going to do.
State preemption in New York. Imagine New York's been a state New York's been a city longer than most of the states have existed, so they might have preemption or something.
Maybe. If it's going to be separate like that, then let's financially cut them off. Let them deal with their stuff. We'll deal with our stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. At that point, New York should just be a district, become a district or territory.
Yeah, or politically cut them off so they can handle their area, we handle ours. Yeah. East New York and the rest of New York or something. I don't know what you want to call it, but
The District of New York City. There you go. regardless, the ruling they're going to have to change something in the city, and the state should have never allowed the city to have its own set of rules to trump the state law. You know what I mean? That's never happened in any other states I've lived in.
Yeah, but New York existed before New York, right? Like most other states, they go, well, you know what? Let's make a state, and then everybody's like, hey, do you want to be in this state? Then you got to live by, they have rules and stuff. New York probably existed before all that.
That's true, but they still have to accept the state constitution. They don't have a choice in that matter. You can have some states where the counties can opt out of something. Now that's something popular here in Tennessee, that the counties can opt out. They don't have, if it's a state law and the county don't like it, they can opt out. Depending on what it is.
So I have the PDF pulled up, and it's I'm reading through, and it's on the screen. And here it says, since Heller and McDonald, the courts of appeals have developed a two-step framework for analyzing Second Amendment challenges that combines history with means and scrutiny. The court rejects the two-part approach as having one step too many. Step one is broadly consistent with Heller, which demands a test rooted in the Second Amendment text as informed by history, but Heller and McDonald do not support a second step that applies means and scrutiny in the Second Amendment context. Heller's methodology centered on constitutional text and history. So, if you're reading all this, and I do believe that in there they do actually use the test that the court set forth in Heller and applies today requires courts to assess whether modern firearms regulations are consistent with the Second Amendment's text and history understanding. Of course, the regulatory challenges posed by firearms today are not always the same as the preoccupied by the founders in the 1791 or the Reconstruction generation in 1868. But the Constitution, oh crap, I jumped too far. Canon must apply to the circumstances beyond those the founders specifically anticipated, even though its meaning is fixed according to the understandings of those who ratified it.
Sorry, you attempting to answer a question by reading this?
Yeah, I was trying to declare if it's actually falls under like strict scrutiny, which,
and then obviously their interpretation of it.
But they are saying that it does fall under strict scrutiny. And the best video that I've actually seen on this was out of from the Washington Gun Law channel, and he is an attorney who goes and breaks it down. And yeah, even Rich says it follows strict scrutiny. So that will be the only way they can make their rulings from now on constitutional challenges.
So, saying that now, it does sound like that all gun legislation could be challenged now in strict scrutiny.
Yes, and so like my question earlier, would this not then overturn Nix?
Not only does it overturn Nix, it will overturn the
The
machine
entire
gun.
Brady bill.
Yeah, the Brady bill itself, the machine gun crap, the
NFA.
68, the NFA and the 68 Gun Control Act, and the 1934 NFA or Gun Control Act. Yeah, they put a
I think because it says that it interprets based on existing laws and whatever you said there. It keeps that part from going.
Yeah, it has. Well, that falls under the text of the Constitution and history of the Constitution. But when they were talking about the intermediate, that's where you have the two-step process, which would then allow for all your other, the history of, what's the foundation of other gun laws that would be able to be used to say, hey, well, this one should be able to stand because we already have all this other. Well, all that other violates the text of the Constitution also.
I think we should celebrate the victory, because what if it went the other way? What if they ruled against this case and in their conclusions they listed how, all these restrictions are just fine and all this and that? I mean, if this would have went the other way,
it could have easily
yeah,
gone as like what they did the last time a New York case was in front of them, where they heard everything and then they came back and said, well, because New York changed all their stuff, the case is now moot, and so we're not putting out a ruling or a decision. It's if they come back and come back and do this again, you're going to have to restart the process all over again. Yeah, that's what we were kind of saying, Rich, is we could then use this ruling to have, like, the Brady bill overturned, have, the NFA overturned and stuff, because it would not then follow the strict scrutiny of the Constitution.
Did they happen to mention anything about the other stuff going on, how they want to ban our parts, or to make them micro stamped and stuff like that? Did they address any of that?
No, not that bill. What they did address in it was about if you're selling guns for profit. I don't know how they're going to prove that. They know about market value.
The thing is with the bills that they have, that they just passed, the legislation they just passed, So all of that is all sitting in front of the 9th District. The California gun roster is sitting before. The AWB ban is sitting before, and so is the magazine ban. And those are all waiting for en bancs. So the full panel, 11-judge panel, to hear it. Now that the SCOTUS has ruled that they have to follow strict scrutiny, they're going to have to agree with what St. Benita said about the fact that all 3 of these cases are unconstitutional.
So, say that is, you know, that's the way it's down or whatever. Everything's going to be scrutinized, blah, blah, blah. Do you think the gun community is actually going to do it? I mean, NRA, some of these bigger people and stuff, you think they're going to keep pushing, or you think that it's equivalent to pushing themselves out of a job? So at a certain point, they're just going to keep their mouth shut and their hand out.
Well, the thing is no matter if we would to get everything overturned that's already there, you know for a fact that the politicians are going to keep passing more and more laws, which will keep us fighting this in court for the rest of the time Earth is around.
What organization helped this case? Was it GOA?
No, it was that New York State and Pistol Association or something. I don't know. New York Attachment. I can't think of what it was called.
The New York Pistol Rifle, New York Pistol and Rifle Association.
No.
But I do believe that the GOA was also involved.
Well, I'm saying whoever was involved, we ought to throw them a buck or two, man, just to help out, recuperate what they spent to do this, show them we appreciate what they've done.
I definitely appreciate what they've done, but as a toll on the organization, I've chose not to join because they're one of them partnership way.
I'm not pushing people to join. I said make a donation. You join the clubs and the parties you like, but I was just mentioning, maybe we ought to show a little bit for this particular case.
The one thing is like the last case that was heard in front of SCOTUS, which they ended up ruling moot, was another case that was brought forward by the New York Rifle and Pistol Association. So they are doing a lot of fighting for New York. I don't know a whole lot about them. So Rob being from New York, if they are like really tied with the NRA, that does really suck. So
it muddies the waters for me personally, but everybody to their own. You know what I mean? Make your decisions or whatever. I don't hear much about them. Years ago, protesting the SAFE Act in Albany, they don't ring no bell to me. So I don't know. I have heard that they tried to appeal it after the fact or whatnot, but I don't hear or see anything positive gun-related activism stuff from them anywhere personally. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I have no idea. I've never heard of them in school. I've never even heard of the NRA in school. We never had no Eagle Eddy or whatever you guys call it, any of this type of stuff around here. So to me, my experience may be different. You know what I mean? But I don't, I'm not paying for Wayne's girlfriend, man. I'm not doing it. Got a hard enough time paying for my own. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Having a girlfriend costs a lot of money.
Flowers aren't cheap.
Neither is mailing them.
Neither's ribs.
All I can say is that it's not like Rob buys good flowers. He probably buys the same rose from the Dollar Tree and recycles it every.
Stole it from the neighbor's bush.
No, man, grocery store flowers. Yeah, they might not be the best of the best, but you get a week and a half out of them. And a matter of fact, last time I bought a plant, so it's still growing.
What kind of plant?
Some type of fern plant that was placed in the wrong spot, and the lady got it for like 6 something when it was supposed to be 20 or 18 and change. So it was pretty good. They have more in the wrong spot. We're over there. She was like, "Look, they got a bunch of them." And I'm like, "Oh, let's go. Come on, we don't need a bunch of plants." She's over there trying to hustle them.
I thought you was growing natural medicine.
Oh, no, yeah, I was gonna say that for some reason I was thinking aloe, but no, fern plants. So no, I can't think of any use out of a fern or frond, I should say.
Shade.
It's year-round green. That's what a fern does.
Yeah, it gives off oxygen to help you live. Plus, I believe it's still fern month, isn't it?
I didn't realize there was a fern month.
Oh, you get the reference. There's a...
Oh, yeah,
I don't know if it's still here. There used to be a gay bar here, and it said fern something and had painted plants on the outside of the building.
See the little plant right there.
Rob, that's poison ivy.
Yeah, it could be, right? So, I don't know. It was a little different. I'm sure there's a tag somewhere, but she ended up throwing on a YouTube video, grabbing some yarn and making a holder for it. So that was cool. The only work I had to do is install a hook to the ceiling, but yeah.
Yeah, that looks like sumac to me, man.
Made her happy. That's the important part. Fern SP, so I don't know what that is. But
Yeah, I have no clue. I was trying to figure out something I could make a joke out of it, but
Looks like maybe a staghorn fern.
okay, you want to elaborate? Is it edible? Is it medicinal?
You asking me?
Yeah.
It's not my fern. I don't know.
Ain't no fern of mine, buddy.
He done burned up.
I just Googled fern SP, and that's what came up and kind of looked like what he showed.
I think Gene has it right. SP stands for sucky plant. I don't know.
well, they try to charge like close 3 times as much for that one versus the normal one. So I don't know what the difference is, but
SP's for special pricing.
there you go.
Or secret pricing.
Yeah, man. What was it? $6-7? And the lady's happy and smiling. See that shit?
It's probably just the one nobody would buy, so they threw it over there to sucker somebody.
Hey, as long as it makes her happy, that's all that matters.
Yeah, watch it be some like invasive species and kills off all your other house plants and throws out of control. Poisons your cats. Though you should check, make sure it's not poison to your cats. Though you should check
Yes.
that out.
Or your guinea pigs.
It looks like it's got them long leaves that they'd like to, swat at and chew on.
Yeah, I think that's why it's hanging, so the pets couldn't get to it. So yeah. And cats that like to bat at anything that moves on its own in the wind. So yeah, let's kick it around the room. What have you done for your lady lately? For those that apply.
I answered the phone for my ex-old lady last night. She gave me some wonderful news. Well, not to sound terrible, but I felt more happy than I did sad. A certain individual around here no longer dwells upon the earth that we do. And, not to be prick, but we're all a much better world now that this individual's gone. Took too long, but instead of being sad, I was more than happy. So I don't know if that makes me a prick or not, but that's just how it is.
So, Defense Dad says it's probably not a fern. Ferns don't have 5 leaves and make you hungry when they burn. Just a little FYI there for you, Rob.
Well, shit, I could have got one of those plants from right next door. Got new neighbors. They got a bunch of them just sitting out back.
Were they sharecropping for you, Rob?
No.
Making the devil's lettuce.
You see it like everywhere here now. Like, yeah, people setting up grow rooms on their back porch. I mean, it's like I'd be willing to bet somebody's growing in just about every neighborhood. Doesn't matter how much income the neighborhood's is getting. I'd be willing to bet somebody's growing it everywhere. It's amazing.
Hey, my gun shop just told me here recently. They had he said in like the last year, 2 years, they maybe had 1 person, 2 people, something talk to them about it. But in the last couple weeks, they've had like 3 people come in, and they were asking all kinds of questions about, the 4473 and buying a gun, because they got one of those marijuana cards here, right? And they was worried about it. And he said all 3 of them got delayed, and then after 3 days they come and picked up their guns, and on the 4th and 5th day the ATF called and said no, change that to denial, and they had to fill out more forms, tell every one of them, well, they already come picked it up. And gun shop said they was all pissy and arguing with the ATF about it and stuff. So they were just saying, it sounds to me like, I knew they would, but it sounds to me like they're going to do something funny about that.
So
I mean, wouldn't shock me at all.
Well, yeah, right on the 4473.
Yeah, I know it says it, but I don't know. People just don't understand the difference between a federal law and a state law. I guess they think the state law trumps federal, which is not true. But I just knew there was going to be a catch in there, man. You get one of them cards, and you're going to give up your rights for that. They're going to get you on it.
473.
So I'm sure if they would come back to try to retrieve that firearm or something from you, they're probably going to try to charge you with a crime.
Well, you committed a crime.
Yeah, but yeah, I
like,
get that, but like
how do
they
they
don't
put it?
really
Perpetual user,
arrest
right?
and prosecute you when you were denied on your 4473. You know what I mean? But now that you've already taken possession of the gun, I think that maybe that makes it worse. I think now maybe they can charge you, right?
Well, they can charge you just for lying on a 4473. Now, how often do they actually do that? It's not.
No.
What's the definition of perpetual user? Because I mean, I would throw up. What about alcohol? I mean, just because somebody has a glass at dinner, does that mean they're no longer capable to carry a firearm? I mean,
See, the thing is,
yeah, I'm not
Doesn't
arguing
it
the
say,
fact whether you should or shouldn't, but it's just a hindrance, like because one day a week you go to cancer treatments or something, and one day a week you smoke a joint or something. That means you can't defend your home, or you're not. I mean, you're a liar if you put no. I mean,
I don't know, but
I think it seems kind of weird.
There.
I know, and I personally know people that are are in both pools, I guess you could say. And my advice, I don't think the car is worth it. I think these people are freaking nuts. But
it's the same thing kind of with alcohol too. It says alcohol on it, right? Are you addicted to alcohol?
Yep.
Well,
addicted.
You have to
of
have
opinion, right?
That's a matter of opinion, and the person's opinion is going to be different than everybody else's naturally. That's why you have interventions. That's why alcoholics will never admit they're an alcoholic. You know what I mean? Until they really want help. Until that point, that drinker, in their mind, will say that they're not an alcoholic, right? So that's like their opinion. So that question does leave things open to opinion, whether that has any standing grounds or not, because you know better when you check the box. But that's just I think it's really a dumb question. I think it's a dumb thing to have on the form. No one's going to tell the truth on it anyways. And even if you get somebody on it, they're going to try to say that, you know what I mean? Well, I don't think I am. So, and I've never really heard anybody prosecuted for that. So it's kind of dumb to even have that question up in there. You have my name, you have my social security number, you have where I was born. It's up to you to find your criminal record. You know what I mean? I just told you where I was born and I have a social security number. Quit asking me questions if I was born in Mexico. I mean, their questions are stupid. It should just be your information, and that's all they get.
I don't put my social security number on 4473s.
So, until marijuana is decriminalized or legalized federally, that is going to stay on there, just like, and it just says narcotics. It doesn't specifically say marijuana, And so, like here in Oregon, it's legal, to go into a store and buy marijuana. But here's the thing. When you do that, they scan your driver's license. So now there is a database that has your driver's license in there. And guess what? If you go to the 4473 and you mark, no, and they would cross-reference that, you could be nailed for lying on that 4473.
So what's to say you're not going there to pick something up for your mom or something like that because they don't travel, this and that, it helps them eat or go to sleep or whatever. How do they even know it was for you? I mean, for one, that's problem number one. Problem number two is what's to say, okay, 2 years ago, you thought it was a good idea and it was your normal routine. Now you don't. So are they going to connect that back from 2 years ago on you that you went in to buy this for your own admitted use or whatever, but now you just feel differently? Is that going to be held against you? I mean, and where does this come with alcohol? Where does this come with pharmaceuticals? I mean, depression medication. There's like the majority of Americans are on drugs. So, but nobody's bitching about that. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to defend. I guess I don't. I just think it's crazy. Personally, I don't. It's a judgment thing. I don't think There's lots of people that drink like crazy, but they still have a gun. So I don't understand. I would think it's what you do. Or do you have that character where you get drunk and end up, in the tank every weekend? Then you would probably be denied because you have a history of police interventions with this situation. Same thing with marijuana. Are you sleeping at red lights? Or, are you chasing little kids down for Twinkies or something? Well, you probably got a record if you're a bad guy. So I don't understand where the difference is on this, like, personally.
See, so
you make a good, real quick, you make a good point, Rob, about bringing it up. And I'll agree with that. Like, we should fight things like that. We should fight things like that question on that 4473. Because they've already hinted at it, they've already tried it, they'll push it in the future. If they can get by with this or a little bit more, they'll add prescription medication to that criteria.
Why don't we compromise and say that people that shoot 9mm can't drink? We'll just start there.
Whoa.
I agree to that.
Well, they need to drink to get over the fact that they shoot 9mm.
Oh,
drown their unmanliness in tears.
Cover up their limp wristing. I was drunk. That's the reason why.
The bullets looked bigger when I was drinking.
Beer goggling.
Look, not everybody's got to drive around in a Hummer and carry a bazooka to feel adequate. Okay.
I don't know. I used to think 9mm was good. It has tons of penetration power and all that, but man, I've seen some mighty big-sized criminals, that kind of make you think. I hate to piss him off with a 9mm,
Well, here you go, Rob. I'm taking this off my hip right now. There's a 9mm.
Practical, sensible.
Well, on the other hand, look at the capacity.
Got one right here.
If you come across a bee or a wasp, what do? You don't mind swatting at it. You want to kill the wasp. You're not afraid of one. But boy, get 4, 5, 6, maybe 10 of them swarming around, and you're running for the hills. So.
Plus, if you got to dispatch something, it only makes sense with today's market to do it as cheaply as possible.
So wouldn't that be 22?
Could be.
Now I think it'd still be 9mm and a high point if you wanted to go absolutely cheap as possible.
High point, make it 22.
No, it don't give them no bright ideas.
No, 20.
I don't think they could ever do it because I don't think a 22 has enough force to cycle the slide. Because if they made it, it would be like a 5-pound slide on top of it. So.
Yeah, but at least they'd be able to make a magazine that hold more than 10 rounds. But they do. They make a 40 that barely operates a slide.
Yeah, I tell you, man, a high point could be a very, very effective weapon. I wouldn't want somebody turning it around and using it like a hammer on me. That's for sure.
All right.
Put it on a rope, sling it around.
Now you got a melee weapon.
Right.
You just throw it under the wheels, it'll stop a truck.
You know, it's kind of a shame because, I mean, you guys, we're all, all of us here are talking about the new, big, thick, black bed liner coated pistols that they make. But they used to make a smaller, more normal gun, man. Friends of mine have them. They used to make a nice little 380. There's no resemblance to what they produce right now.
Well, they got on that polymer frame kick.
Yeah, a friend of mine has a stainless high point.
Stainless high point?
Dude, that's hot on.
That's got to be rare. I've never even seen one, not online or nothing.
Well, like I said, that's how they were years ago. They were shaped like a normal gun, maybe kind of Walter PPK-ish, a little bit. They were just a much different gun. They were a normal type gun. No, they're high points. I live like 30 minutes from the high point factory. No, it's not like this style right here at all. They were much different. Let me Google one up, see if I can find it.
I'm doing that right now.
A race to find the high point.
That's like, who cares where Waldo is?
Can you find one of them originals that Jason's talking about? I'd be interested in seeing that.
Yeah, I don't.
Google sucks because so far I can't see them.
I've never seen one, so I don't know what I'm looking for. But there's
This is what I'm finding for high point.
That's their.
There's another stainless one. I gotta jump off you for a second here. Show this something like that.
I think.
Nope. I'm gonna text my friend here and say, "Hey man, take a picture, send it to me." I'm gonna check Wikipedia instead of that and see.
Yeah, you should.
I think, is he talking about something like? No, look, that's still got the big ugly.
You would think. I mean, even right now, you guys looking, you can't find it. That'd be worth some money. Well,
so there's.
Go ahead.
I'll say this is what it looks like. There's a. I don't know if it's gonna pull up or not, but there's like an old slide for and parts kit.
Sure, you didn't dream it, Jason? You're dreaming of high points?
No. I've shot it many times. It could be 20, 30 years old easily. None of the pictures I've seen even come close to what they look like. They kind of had a Jennings type look to them.
Seeing a bunch of magazines for him.
I think you're thinking of a Lorenco.
Wasn't High Point a different manufacturer before it became High Point?
Yes, I don't remember the name though.
I think that's where the 380 came into effect.
It's a B. Miller.
So 70 Reloader 762 says Stalin Arms original High Point.
Yeah, if you type in B. Miller 380, you get MIG welders.
What about Stallard Arms? So we have
Nah, I see them stalwart arms. That's not exactly what this gun looked like either. I'll get a picture of it, I guess. I guess that's the only way.
we got M. Gabriel who's joined us, Mandatory Carry, Reloader 762, Mark Thomas, Weston Probst is all out there. So HIPAA is out there, 67 Rebel, Bald and Curious, Mike White. Got a lot of great channels out there. Bag of ammo.
That particular bag was rimfire brass that I paid 50 cents for, but it's all kinds of old crazy calibers and different sizes and shapes and art project or something. Just a bunch of different random diameters of rimfire cases.
Huh.
Not quite
So-
ammo, so I'm just putting it on the shelf. It's not really ammo.
Now, is that fired rimfire, or is that not fired?
Just the stuff that people picked up. Probably somebody that was picking up brass and then, couldn't do nothing with the rimfire, just had it in a pile and sold it at the show. It's maybe 2 handfuls in the bottom of a sandwich bag. So I found this one in there. You don't see these very often at all. So this is a 357 Magnum, or it's sometimes pronounced Magnum. And then this is a 44 Magnum. All right. One's a little bit fatter than the other, but they're basically the same. So what is this one in between them?
Is that a 41 mag?
Nope, that would be shorter than a 44. Here's a 41. Can't really tell the difference between a 41 and a 44 except for diameter, I guess. This is a 357 Maximum. So this is a Magnum and this is a Maximum. Like a longer 357 by quite a bit. The case is as long as the overall length of a regular.
I just watched a video. Someone mentioned the Maximum.
Yeah, I talked about them before because I only had one, and then all of a sudden I had like 2 or 3, and then I just found 2 more in this bag of ammo that was like from a gun show or something. So I have a couple if anybody wants to trade. I never saw them that often. I didn't even know they existed until like however many years ago.
Who was it that I heard? I think we were talking about that not too long ago on Chris from the 740s show on a Wednesday, because it was brought up on a Georgia shooting connection live stream. It's probably been talked about.
Have you seen one of these shotgun shells? These are a Russian slug.
Close the door, please.
Like a Sabo slug?
No, just a Russian slug that's all crazy. That's what it looks like when you shoot it into water, I guess. They have these at SHOT Show one year.
Huh.
It's pretty wicked. I don't know if you can tell, but that's like some sort of machine part that would just suddenly be inside of something, moving really fast through it. Everything about that would suck, I think.
I would say that definitely looks like it might do a tiny bit of damage.
This here is probably like a super effective, something else that's been super effective, shot into water or whatever, nice and starred. And it ain't anywhere near this thing. And this
I think it was on CW. I think one of his videos that I just watched, he mentioned the 357 Maximum.
CW puts out a lot of great content.
Does he have one, or is he just talking about?
I think so. I don't know. I watched a bunch of his videos, so I don't remember.
I think it looked like a Fender, like a single barrel pistol.
That's what he was shooting. He had one with a couple different barrels that he would swap out with optics on it. So that might have been what he was shooting.
I mean, that's too long. That would be, here's a carbine. I mean, they're way longer than a carbine. So the carbine's about the biggest revolver I've seen lengthwise. Well,
So, Mark Thomas says CW does have a 357 Maximum. So
I don't think they shoot those rounds. Those are super grody and old, and the primers look all gross.
Mandatory Carry says, I think he's talking about the shotgun shell. That's evil. How do I get one? So they're available online.
I don't remember what they were called. It was a Russian company, and it was like 18 or something. It was maybe even 16. It was a long time ago. What do you think about this thing? Looks like a freaking hose adapter or something. I don't have too many of these weird things, but I don't know what this shoots out of. Probably something off a boat or an airplane.
That does look like a hose adapter.
Doesn't it? Except for this big giant, and it doesn't weigh nothing. Like, this thing weighs like nothing. This feels like it's aluminum and brass mixed. This might be metal, and this feels like it's titanium or something. Like, it doesn't weigh like anything, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty strong. I don't even know where I got this. I think I got it in a collection of weird projectiles and ordnance. Well, projectiles and bullets, and this was in there.
Rob's got something to say about it.
No, nothing to say about it.
Yeah, that's unusual as hell, man. I've never seen anything like that.
I'm working over here. My goodness.
You do work? No.
Yeah. Right now I'm being a tire guy. Today's about tires. I got 3 wheelbarrow tires, and 3 of them weren't holding air, so I just got 1 repaired, which is a plus. Just doing a double check on it, make sure everything's good to go. But I'm not seeing any bubbles. So I think I'm good to go.
So, did you have to rebeat it, or?
Yeah, I had to pull it out. This one actually had a tube in it, which I was shocked. So, patched the tube after I wasted a plug initially.
You can't plug a tube tire.
Yeah. Well, the plug's holding nice and well in there, but that's didn't do me any favors. So, and as far as patch kits, I had a bunch for bikes, but I don't know if the kids got them or what happened. The only thing I could find was stuff for like air mattresses, so I ended up picking up some more. Threw them in my this tire tackle kit or whatever. So I figured I'd throw them in there. So I got 1 tire working, so that's good. 'Cause I actually wouldn't mind trying to fill them with like spray foam or something because, yeah, most I'd say at least 50% of the work, or maybe 40%, involves nails on the ground. So that's what got me this time. But thankfully, I was on like the very end of the job when it went, and I've got an extra sitting here, but unfortunately, it's here and not at the job, so it didn't do me any good. And it's not holding air in that tire. So
I tried putting inflate. What is that called? Expanding foam into the like the hollow inflating tires, and it worked for like 5 minutes. But they just once it collapses the first time, it's like a flat tire. So it lasts for a little while. It won't work.
okay, well, good to know. Thank you. So
Yeah, it didn't waste. So it's not worth it. It does work. If you were just gonna like do little shit, it would probably work. But I think it's worth the $7 or whatever. Like $10 to go to Harbor Freight nowadays to get wheels.
yeah.
Get the hard wheel tires, like Balding
Thing
Curious.
is pretty awesome. They're hard on.
We got there's a guy down here named Fernando Rob who will sell you some good retreads.
Well, he could always just go to Harbor Freight and get the solid tires. So, Michael Dunn has jumped in out in the crowd.
3 classes out of 4. Yep.
And actually, I think the solid tires are cheaper than the tubed tires.
And are solid all right to pit planks with
Yeah.
without a perfect lineup? Can I just slam a 2x6 on the ground and run on it? I mean,
Yeah.
No, you have to look into those then.
It's solid rubber.
Yeah, I know, but because of that, it doesn't expand or bite. So, it might just push the board up the dumpster instead of actually rolling onto the board. You know what I mean?
It's still got some knobby tread, so it's still gonna, run through mud and crud and be able to, it's still gonna do everything you need it to do. It's just when a nail stabs into the tire, guess what? You can take a claw hammer, and yank the damn nail out, and you don't have to worry about it going flat. All you got to worry about is somebody throwing the entire wheelbarrow in the dumpster.
Well, shit, I've done that, but I pull it back out.
I'm talking about throwing it in there and just walking away.
Only if they don't want to be paid.
So Artec said he had to bail out, so have a good night, Artec. So no overnight show tonight, right, Foss? This is a non.
It's an off night.
Even though there was not a mouse party?
Yep.
Can I speak to the manager?
Yep. Hang on. I'll go get him.
Speak to the manager. You can always get an extra show out of it. Just say that you paid for it on the way out and they forgot to write your receipt or whatever.
Well, at work, if somebody's bitchy on the phone and they ask for manager, you just say, yep, put them on hold, and then do whatever you want to do. And then either come back later or hang up on them.
When I worked at a convenience store, I had a customer who asked to speak to the manager. So I was like, yeah, let me go get him. I took like 3 steps towards the office, and then I turned back around. I'm like, You want to speak to the manager?
Yeah, I'll get. I'll tell them. Yeah, that's me. I'm the manager. Yeah. Sometimes, well, I want to talk to your boss. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not calling him at this time of the night.
I had no
In
problem.
those situations, that's when I call back to speak to somebody else, and then try to speak to the boss, and then report you as well. I don't understand it. If you, why don't you, not you individual, but why don't these phone people just kick it up to the? What do you care? Kick it to the boss. Let them deal with the prick. If that's what they insist.
I am the boss. When I'm there, I am the boss.
Okay.
There's no one to kick it to. And I'm not calling the store manager, at 2 a.m. or the owner.
All right. Yeah, I don't complain much about things like that anyway. But when you do, you kind of expect to get service or something when you want to answer to a damn question. So
if there's a problem, I will do what I can to try and rectify a problem. But if you're an asshole, then if I can fit, if it's a reasonable request and you're being an asshole, if it's something I can fix right there and quickly, I'll do it. But if you're just gonna try and chew my ear for no good reason, then no, I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not going to let you treat any of my guys that are working that way, or
There's people that take advantage of the concept that the customer is always right or whatever. So then they'll just come up to a place and just lay into somebody because it's sort of like therapy. And there's, they know that our social thing is that person has to sit there and listen to it for, till it becomes out of hand. So I think there's people that abuse that just from being like an assistant manager and watching managers get ripped on. I was like, oh, this is more than just this person had a bad day. This person has a bad day, like on a regular basis.
There definitely are, and if it's something we did wrong, then it's, I feel it's our responsibility to fix it. And if I can fix it, I'll fix it. There are some things that come up which I do not have the power to fix. So, they'll have to come back during the day. But, you'll get somebody that gets upset over something, stuff that even doesn't even have to do with us. And I've kicked people out of the store for when they get that bad.
Good for you, man. I would too. I'd get fired at some of these places, like those restaurants where people always bitch. It doesn't matter what it is, they're gonna bitch because they know they're gonna get a free coupon for the next time through. So it doesn't matter how it goes, and they always come back to the same damn place. Like if you don't like it so much, go somewhere else. Like those types of people, I'd end up in jail over. I'll gladly show your ass to the door.
I mean, it can be something as stupid as I had a lady go off because we didn't have the newspapers yet. And because now and again they'll be late, and I have no way of knowing when they're going to be late, why they're going to be late. And she got upset. Well, can't you call somebody? I said, no, I don't have a phone number to call the newspaper to see when they're going to be here. Well, don't you think that's a problem? There's nothing I can do about it. I don't have a phone number. And she often had problems like that, but there's times it has nothing to do with us. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't fix your problem.
I had one customer who said that they wanted to speak to the owner and they knew who the owner of the store was. I'm like, good. So I'm like, here. I called him and I handed him the phone. I was like, tell the boss, what's he going to do? Fire me? Okay. I'm the only employee. He's not going to try running 3 businesses and have to be at this store.
You get that. And I'll just tell him, hey, he's the one that made this rule. He's the one that signs my check. I'm going to do what he tells me to do.
That's when you tell them, well, talk to them, not me, and carry about your business. Like, it's not for you on the spot to cater to a friend or something like that, unexpected, or give special treatment. You know what I mean? Anybody can say that. So,
So, my boss had told me many a times, you know what, you run the store however you see fit, because I don't have the time to be here. And so I would used to tell people all the time, there was 5 words that linked together to make a sentence that you had to remember before you walked in the door. I am God in here. Because whatever I said went. The boss wasn't going to argue with me.
You're a complex dude. If you said that every day walking through the door, you're one of them straight up dickheads, man.
I'm King Kong up in here.
So, like, I took a day off after 3.5 months of working 7 days a week, 17 hours a day. I took a day off. And the boss texted me and said, hey, can you work for like 2-3 hours? Because I just remembered that the new Rocky movie is releasing today, and I want to go watch it. And I'm like, no, I'm taking the day off. He's like, fine, you're fired. I said, okay, be ready to open the store at 5 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, you're hired. Needless to say, he fired me like 27 times in text messages.
That wouldn't even work for a guy like that. Screw that shit.
So at the end of the day, at the end of the conversation, I got a 50-cent pay raise, retroacted all the way back to the beginning of the pay period. It was the last day of the pay period to go work for 2.5 hours.
I think I would have told him to kick rocks at that point, honestly. Like, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Dude, I was averaging 84 hours a week. So I was putting in 44 hours of OT every week. It was definitely a great negotiation on my part.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like working for assholes, I guess. Yeah. like a general asshole, that's fine. The asshole that's just an asshole to everybody, that's not an issue. I actually get along good with them because there's no bullshit. You know what I mean? They're an asshole, so everything works out great. So people that want to pretend to be nice that are assholes that want to try to screw your day up and shit. I just prefer the asshole. But all in all, somebody that's just like that, though, that's just, you're already basically doing all you can, and one day off, they want to come, give you some bullshit because they want to go do something entertainment-wise. I mean, it'd be different if, like, this kid broke his leg at practice or something, you know what I mean? But because they want to go watch a movie, like, the balls of you to even call me. I wouldn't even answer my phone. Like, are you fucking high or something? Like, what? Like, no way, dude. Like, 50, you can stick that up your ass, bro. I'll go somewhere else. Like, I don't know. That's me, though. That type of stuff is ridiculous, man. People get abused and they say it's okay because it's a paycheck, but, that shit transfers on. Your kids see it. You grow up. Like, don't be somebody's bitch, man. I don't care if it's your employer, your credit card. Don't be the bitch.
Yeah, I didn't stay working there very long. I ended up moving on. I was actually just kind of there helping get the store going. I built him a great clientele, and within 3 months of me leaving the store, it went under. Yo. If that question was directed towards me, I was definitely born to be an asshole. My wife will tell you. Okay, all of a sudden the screen went just jet black.
Hang
Yeah,
on,
I
I'm
got
trying.
black too. I try to be decent with people. Like, even in traffic, if everybody just let one car go in the merge, it wouldn't be a damn problem. But somebody's always got to be an asshole, or people cutting across the street. If they don't look like those entitled bastards that are just going to run out and, I own the road and you got to stop, they're looking or whatever. I got no problem stopping, waiting for people. I just hate that entitled crap. And, I don't know. I got lost here. Sorry, I got distracted. My bad.
There we go. Got to work now. There's my latest right there. Just got it last night.
That's pretty.
It's all polished up. Notice that undercut trigger guard right there? How high up they got that? This gun just feels wonderful.
It
The
looks okay.
picture doesn't do it justice, man. Everything is polished. Shiny as chrome on the flats. Everything internally I polished. This gun came out nice. Very good fit everywhere. Everything's exactly how it's supposed to be. There's nothing wrong with the grip safeties. Everything is just fine on it. But I need to get a hold of Colt because I got a question about this. Like you would think up, these darker areas, not the flats. You think this was all bead blasted. You know what I mean? That's generally how they do things. I don't think this is bead blasted. I think this is like chemically done, like Parkerized or something. It is completely wonderful, smooth finish, but it has that dull look to it. But the trigger is made out of aluminum. This frame is made out of stainless, and the barrel bushing up front, because it's colored, I can't tell if it's stainless or if it's steel. But anyways, that's 2 or 3 different types of steel that all came out with the exact finish, texture, and everything, and color. So I don't think Bead Blast would be able to do that. And inside the slide at the very top, kind of up here in the no man's land, right after the locking lugs, and a little bit in the back behind the firing pin stop, there's color. It's discolored. It's like this was chemically dipped or something. It's got like it's just got a coloring to it, kind of like what chrome looks like before you add the nickel. You know what I mean? It's got almost like a copper type tint to it. And everybody looks at guns and you're like, you don't want to see machining marks or anything up underneath it. Took this slide off and it looks like they took a wire wheel brush to the underside of the slide right here, and they got all of this coloring or whatever they did, they got it off of the locking lug area. For some reason they didn't want that on those locking lugs. I got rid of like the wire scratches, polishing it by hand, but it looked terrible. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, what the hell? Is this your first day on the job? Is this Friday? Is this Monday? What's going on? But as I just kept inspecting the gun and looking at it, I think it was like chemically dipped to get this gray color and finish on it. And for some reason, they didn't want that in the locking lug area. That's the only thing I can come up with it. But other than that, this gun fits nice. It's beautiful. It feels fantastic.
So
I really like this one.
Moo says that's the weirdest Beretta that he's ever seen. I tend to agree with him. And why did Beretta put a grip safety on their firearm?
I love my Berettas, boys, but man, Beretta don't really hold a candle to a nice 45. These guns are great. This is just a wonderful. I mean, it just has. I mean, I got some other 1911s that I think I have other ones that are undercut right here, but not like this. This is to the extreme. You can see how that goes almost to a point where it'd be very easy just to break it off of the frame. And even though it has that little nub right there, you can't feel that at all. Your finger still feels like that's completely flat, and your finger just molds right into this, just absolutely perfect. It gets that thumb safety memory pad right there. It gets that, just right in the meat below your thumb right there.
So-
this just fits perfect, man.
I've got two major problems with 1911s. One, the grip safety was never meant to be there. The only reason why the grip safety is even on there was because the United States military said that that's the only way that they would have take the 1911 and adopt it.
Glocks are never supposed to be over $250, but they are.
Well, that's because all the importers said that no one would buy a $250 Glock.
Oh, the excuses, huh? Excuses? That's what you got?
Hey, Jason, is this the gun?
Nope. I've been texting him right now.
This is the first high point is the Maverick JS9.
It might be similar, but man, his is stainless. It's silver. I've shot it before, and it's got the little loaded chamber indicator in the back. And I got text back from him, but I haven't got a picture. Wait a minute, here's another text.
So,
but
say hello
he
to...
has problems with it. It double feeds. It doesn't extract all the time.
I'm going to say hello to Mr. CNT Designs and Arms and 223 DMR, who just jumped in. So welcome, guys.
Guy ever get his Ford fixed? I assume he's just taking a break.
What Ford? Oh.
223s.
I don't think his Ford broke. I think he was using his Ford to pull a Chevy, is the last I heard.
Oh yeah, Moo. I kind of OCD on my grip screws too. Matter of fact, those was just a quick put on for the photo. After I took them off, I went and found my rubber O-rings for them. Yeah, I kind of OCD on the grip screw slots myself. I worked on that gun. I hand polished everything inside that gun for easily 6 hours last night. I didn't get it done till 2 o'clock in the morning. That gun it's just beautiful. It fits. The grip safety on this, not a bit of noise, looseness, wiggle, blends right into the frame when it's pushed. There's no issue with it at all. The only thing that's slightly loose on the whole gun is that mag well on the bottom, because it just slides in. It just slides into the mainspring housing like a dovetail, kind of like your sights, and it's slightly loose. I think maybe I can peen the rails on it a little bit with a hammer and tighten it up, or maybe shim it or something. The only thing I can think of why it's like that, that gun's mainly a competition gun, and there's certain classes, well, most of them, they won't let you run that mag well on that gun, so they made it so it is removable without a screw or anything. Some of them got a set screw in the bottom, takes care of that little bit of wiggle sliding around. Some of them are all one piece, but that one just slides in like a little dovetail. I just, maybe they did it so it was easy removable. I don't know, but it feels nice, looks nice, functions fine. But if there's one little thing on it that makes a noise if you shake it or do anything, it's just that little mag well on the bottom.
So, have you ever pinned one of your grip safeties?
Never ever had an issue with a grip safety.
I didn't say have you had an issue.
I have like longer fingers, maybe, and bigger hands. Longer. I don't get slid bit. I don't get hammer bite on it. There's no way. There's an inch or more clearance between all that on me. I've never ever had an issue with a grip safety, even on a cheaper gun, even on a big sloppy loose. As far as them not engaging in the gun firing, I've never had that ever. I know other people have. I just shot a 1911 that Chris from 740 has, and he has his grip safety pinned. I've just never had an issue with it. It defeats the purpose of having that gun cocked and locked if you don't have that grip safety. I mean, I know competition guys want it for their speed or whatever, but it works. It's been working for 111 years. As long as you have a good gun, that shouldn't even be any thought. You shouldn't wonder about it, feel it, listen to it, and you shouldn't notice it at all when you grip it. It shouldn't be a distraction. As long as they're blended in nice and they're a good quality one, you should have no issues. But some don't blend in nice. Some of them have square edges and you can feel them, and I don't care for those.
Well,
That's one of the little fine points about when you want a nice 1911. One of the things to look at is how the grip safety is.
mine's more of the aesthetics. I have the OCD, and that grip safety on there is not eye pleasingly, with the aesthetics.
That's a standard beaver tail grip safety right there, son. I mean, it's not anything special and anything else. That's just a standard one with the memory bump. That's all.
Black guy talking about aesthetics. That's funny.
Hey, I own more than just Glocks. I just don't own a single M&P. And 223 answered your question. He says he had to put an air filter in, fuel filter, and tranny filter on it. There was a Chevy stuck in the old air filter.
Uh-huh.
I just put a tranny filter in my TV.
It might have been a modern Chevy. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I put a tranny filter in my TV not long ago. I blocked that drag race drag queen show.
And see, I'm not the only one. The Misfits Darling says that she hates grip safeties also.
I don't know why, man. Never had an issue with them. I've had them where, they don't feel very good, just by the design or, the manufacturing company that made it for them. Some of them don't blend in well, and you can feel squared edges on the sides or they rattle or whatever, but I've never had one that didn't function.
So
she's a left-handed alien. I wouldn't trust what she's saying. Plus a damn New Yorker.
Okay, well, I'll give you that. Even with the ambi safety, I don't know. Maybe 1911 is not a good gun for a left-hander. I don't know.
So, I know Kingpin did a video earlier today. Did everyone watch it?
The royal announcement?
Yes.
Royal decree?
The royal decree.
I watched it.
Of us content creators, anyone gonna join in on it?
I'll try to make up a few things.
I know I'm gonna
What
attempt to put out some videos.
What happened? What did Kingpin do?
He put out a royal decree stating that July 2022 is the first ever firearm appreciation month, and that all creators that are interested should flood social media with two-way content. $22 TCM? Or is that a... So... You're muted, by the way, G-Webs.
Oh, I was saying, what caliber do you think this one is?
Is that a 22 TCM or a 25 auto?
Oh no, see that's why I was answering you. So no, this is a 9mm next to it here. See how big a 9mm is next to it?
I got a question about Kingpin's thing. Or this idea in a sense. I'm not knocking it in any way, but yeah, it doesn't seem like we're just throwing videos out for ourselves at this. Wouldn't it be maybe more effective to, I don't know, relate it somehow with the second spends $22 and print out some information and hand it out to somebody that maybe it changes a mind or somebody to look into, but really all we're doing is tooting our own horn to ourselves if we're throwing it on our channels. Because let's face it, nobody that isn't into us is stumbling across our channels, nor are they going to look up, any kind of Second Amendment cause or something like that, unless it's being pointed at as a problem, in some area. So, I would think the whole idea behind it is to reach out to others. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Just what do you guys think?
Well, if I wasn't a rookie and didn't mute my mic, I know, I've had pretty good results doing shorts and getting, people that I've never heard of before commenting. So that might work using the shorts situation. But even if we're just flooding YouTube with videos,
YouTube throttles all that and regulates and shows you what you want to see. So we could flood the hell out of it, but somebody that is only looking at cats, they're not going to see it any damn way unless they intentionally looked for it, which they're not going to do. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to rain on people's parade or nothing. I'm just saying, could this movement be better served if we did something where we actually reached out to an individual, like you made it a point to go talk to a stranger that day or something, or I mean, obviously you can do that too, but the video thing again, and I mean no disrespect in any way, but it really doesn't seem like it's doing a damn thing, except we can all say, oh, we got that same chip on our shoulder or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I think both, you still want to go out and talk to as many people as you can. But putting out videos, if it's flooding, I do believe that if all of a sudden there's an influx, it may not be one of my videos. It may not be one of your videos, but the videos out there will end up coming across people that may not normally watch, 2A content. And so G-Webs, I know there was a couple people that commented like 5-7, and then a couple people who said, what was that round?
Oh, I never said, huh? So, where was it? This is it. I don't know where I got a 5-7 at. Oh, I know. This is it next to a 5-7. So quite a bit different. This is it next to a 25 ACP. So on the left is a little tiny 25 ACP.
Is that a 30 super carry?
No, I don't own a 30 super carry. Out of all this stuff, I don't own one. I think I went to SHOT Show, and I think I even took pictures of one and didn't reach into the jar and grab one like an idiot. Wasn't thinking. But it is weird. I mean, obviously. So that's 5.7, that's a 25, and there's that little neck down something weird in between. I could tell you, I suppose, or you can try to figure it out. It's not completely unusual. It's not like from some other country or anything. Here's a hint. Here it is next to a 32 ACP. That's basically telling you what it is, I think.
Is it a 32?
Well, no, that was next to a 32. I mean, it is, well, it's the same diameter as a 32, if you could tell.
.32 NAA.
No, close though. The 25 NAA. So 2 neck down to 25 for the NAA. How cool is that?
Ruger's arm said 7.62 by 25.
I have one of them.
And then Guns and Water said 30 Browning.
This is 7.62 by 25, and this is that thing. Makes it look like a tiny little puny. And then this is 7.62 by 39. Look at how crazy big that projectile is next to 7.62 by 39. Not this guy, but this guy. And then here's one that nobody knows what it is. Because I showed it to you before, so if you were reading the screen, I paid $20 for that bullet right there. I paid $20.
Wow.
But because I wanted to be able to have such a cool looking bullet. I mean, I already had this one, which is crazy cool. You see how much bullet there is compared to the rest of it?
Yeah.
That's real too. That's 7.62 by 25. And then this thing is even crazier, I think, next to it. And it's an incendiary.
Yeah. CNT says 22 TCM.
No, you're never going to guess. It's 7.62 by 24 from Portuguese.
It's a Portugal round.
Yeah. I have no idea what kind of gun that shoots out of, but it's crazy cool looking.
Well, gee, guys, I'm gonna hop off here. Nice hanging out with you for a little bit. You guys have a good rest of the evening.
Have a great evening, Jason.
Yeah.
Anything you want to plug before you leave?
Nah, not right now. But yeah, you guys take care, man. Keep up the good work, and God bless America.
Have a good night.
See you guys.
So,
You guys.
we have somebody who I have not seen in a while out in the side chat. Mr. Rugeroo's Arms is back. I haven't seen him put out any content lately. My question is did he finish the AR build? That he was challenged to build.
Does anybody need 38 brass for anything?
38 brass? Foss?
No.
Well, I know, I think Jamie, JH586 reloads 38. And so does Jesse B Outdoors. Well, Ruru, just because you haven't finished it doesn't mean that the challenge isn't still out there, even though it's been like a year. Mr. Foss is out there throwing out links, so thank you, bud.
No problem.
Critter says that he's loaded 38 special, but in black powder. So Mr. Mario Molina is out in the crowd, so welcome. I didn't see him on Tactical Pineapple's channel last night. So Rob, what crazy crap are you doing lately?
Crazy crap. Not a lot of crazy crap. Currently, I'm getting ready to strip the tint on my back window and replace it. And then I'm gonna put the car on blocks because I got tires coming in tomorrow. So I'm gonna dismount tires, rims, clean up the rims because that's what us guys do, and basically have them all ready to go be mounted Monday morning, I guess. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna run through, check ball joints, tie rods, all that type of stuff. Basically, just do a preventative check to make sure everything's good, so I can trust hopping in and taking off wherever I feel like, whenever. So that's my immediate things going on. Other than that, I don't know. Have I done anything crazy lately? Can't really think of anything. So, what's that? Yeah. About that. I hang out with this Glock guy online named G23. That's kind of crazy. Radical extreme.
That is. So, 223 DMR says Rob eats too much and hates his fingers.
Yeah. Well, I got a high metabolism, or at least that's what they tell me.
I used to when I was younger, but now I just have a metabolism like I'm high.
Yep. So, thank you for throwing my Patreon link out there, Foss. I I had a poll going over on Patreon for voting on the next video, and I can tell you that what Chris was hoping for ended up winning, and so the Sea Lion Caves will be the next Oregon Coast video. Even though I wanted the Tillamook Air Museum. Rob was eating too fast and bit his finger. So the truth comes out. It wasn't a grinder.
Definitely the grinder. Not bad though. I've had a lot of close calls like that. Yeah, where I just nicked my finger with a saw blade and all that, but I'm doing pretty good. With all the years I've worked with power tools or in sticky situations, yeah, I've had lots of punctures, all that type of stuff, crush injuries, you know, you kind of name it, but never lost you know, any part of me yet. Yeah, fingernails and stuff, but that don't really count. I'm talking like digits and stuff. Thankfully. Never shot myself with a nail gun either. And I've seen that happen, and damn, that's ugly. Let me tell you, ugly. Those bars, how they sticks the nails together, that's usually where it gets stuck in somebody's hand and stuff. Oh my goodness, it does not look like one. Or if you shoot yourself in the knee with a roofing nailer, I've seen that done before. That's not good either. But thankfully, I've never had those issues.
So maybe CNT had it correct with, nope, he was on grinder when he bit his finger.
Nope.
So, sounds like we're gonna Mario says, Rob, you can lose a finger and still shoot like ass. LOL. So when are we going to see another shooting video there, Rob? In your...
Not sure. So I've been busy doing lots of things. So unfortunately, with work and everything else. So I'd like to get out. I like to get out all the time, but every time I plan on doing it, something usually interrupts my day. So not sure. So you know, can't say. I would stay. It wouldn't be too much longer, that's for sure. But honestly, can't stay. Hopefully, you know, I'll have the opportunity to run video or something like that at the next occasion.
I think all of us would love to be able to get to the range more often to, you know, blow off steam.
Later, Georgia.
Yeah, sometimes it's tricky. I mean, there's times where I'm on like a bigger job or working for certain individuals where the routine becomes good. And then there's times like this where sometimes they're late and so there's some little life in between. So that, yeah, that's where it kind of cuts into time frames because I can't really, well, probably could, but I don't think it's legal in my state, go out there in the middle of the night. So I'd probably get some unwanted attention.
I don't say, is there anything legal in your state?
I mean, I could go join the club again, but that sucks. I mean, it's, yeah, in my opinion, 24-hour acts, but it's short range. I mean, you go there, you push the button, run the thing out to where you want it. I mean, it's great if you're a bullseye shooter or trying to zero something in new, but that's it. I mean, there's no movement, no motion, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not a sports shooter or something. If I'm pulling my gun, it's just practice or defense in a sense. So I don't plan on standing still. So I don't know. I do with videos because the camera's only so big, but in general practice, I think standing still is a bad idea.
Yeah, I think that's one of the main reasons why I also don't really like going to the range. Like joining a club. I'm going to probably end up being forced into it if I want to be able to shoot during the summertime, because otherwise it will all be fire season and I won't be able to shoot out in the hills. Typing a reply real quick. And Rob's gone.
He said he was switching phones.
Yeah, I just saw that. So, Critter G-Webs is sorting brass, old rounds, and kind of...
Oh, no, that's mostly a collection. There was one bag of brass in here, but these are all drawers from like one of these sets of drawers where there's like 6 of them this way and 4 of them this way or something. And these are all these drawers. I just took them out and laid them on this piece of wood. So we're looking down on all these drawers. And then I cut these styrofoams to put in the drawers for some of them. So this is a bunch of 9s. But this one's a bunch of 32s. And I don't know. This is a 38 Smith & Wesson Special, but then this thing is like a 32-20. And then this thing is 32 or 32 long. So it's just sort of I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to sort them, I guess.
So I'm not sure if Mark Thomas is still out in the crowd, but if he is, I replied to your email, and you can go ahead and release the video, because I won't be doing a video on that until after the 4th of July. So
22 Hornet. crazy looking round. Primer. It's like a 22 Magnum with primers in it. This here is the 22 long rifle shot shell next to 22 Hornet. But 22 Hornet has a big primer in it.
Yes, yes, Guns and Water. He has a very large ammo collection of assorted rounds. 223 DMR says, I can't find 22 Hornet anywhere. That's because it's all at G Webbs' house.
I got 3 rounds of it. There's a steel penny made out of steel.
Huh. So, we've been going for about 3 hours now. If we don't have any more topics, I think we're gonna wrap this up, and we can BS in the after chat if we want. Anyone out in the side chat have any questions for us? Hopefully Rob gets back.
This is the round from The Wall. You ever seen The Wall?
I have not. I'm not a big movie guy.
Oh, really? It's Pink Floyd. It's like a giant music video from back in the olden days. He takes this little revolver and has good-looking bullets in it.
I think I have seen a little bit of that, but that was back when I was a teenager, and I was probably dropping acid at the time.
So this is a 45 ACP, standard, decent round. Look at this 455 Webley. It's their version of a 45. Look at how goofy it looks. Got a rim on it. Slopey bullet.
So, I guess Rob isn't coming back. He's having issues, and always can help out the Yorker by going to R&L Displays and picking up a very, very nice AR display or a PCC display that takes Glock mags, or a single pistol mount display, or dueling pistol mount displays. So, and I don't know if you use like code G23, you get 15% off. I think Chris from the 740 gets a 15% off discount. The Gizzard Gary gets 15. Rick's Life gets 15. Travis P11 gets 15. I think if you type in, what is it? New York Outcast, it adds 64% to your bill. So be careful when you're typing. And no, a G23 does not take Glock mags. It definitely takes high point mags. So if you go to gear websites, there's always Free Packs Friday, and I'm pretty sure G-Webs would be very appreciative of all the help to promote the Second Amendment and his 35 channels that he has. So, Mr. G-Webs, do you have anything you want to promote before we get out of here?
Thanks for the plug and the link. For hosting each week, I'll plug Brooks' show is happening. I don't remember, like top of the hour, probably a couple of minutes, where she focuses on 2 out of the every 3 deaths with a firearm and how to have conversations about stopping 2 out of 3 deaths with a firearm. I think that's pretty cool.
Yes. A Great Start Shooting channel is a great channel to watch. And Brooke does amazing work. So, and again, next Saturday, there will not be an afternoon or evening chat, but there will be a 7:05 a.m. Every Second Matters chat. So if you want to have some 2A discussion, we will more likely than not be here. So, Mr. DM Foss, you have anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
I dropped a link for Rich White's Unloaded Media. He's live right now, so go check out his chat.
And I know Foss does 2 shows, one every other Saturday evening, and tonight's an off night for that. So if you're up at the great hour of 11 p.m. Pacific, he would be greatly appreciative to have you stop by and, give him as much chat conversation as possible. And every Wednesday night at 10 p.m.
10:30.
10:30 Pacific is the Mouse Party, where anything goes.
Well, within reason.
Keep it PG-13 or below. So we will play the outro and head on out.